Okay. Well, so for today's meeting, we are talking about 20th century of English literature era. So basically, the 20th century English literature starting from what year to what year? The modern English literature. Don't forget, you have to tally your if you answer, you can tally and get the score. You have to count it by yourself. Okay, so I repeat my question. So after preparing the material about 20th century modern English literature, so as you understood, from what year to what year are the period of 20th century English modern literature? Anybody knows?
1901.
Oh, I suddenly
Ke 2000.
I suddenly didn't catch the language. Are we talking the same language now?
1901 until 2000.
Until 2000.
2000.
Okay, any other idea? The modern. Any other idea? Any other thought? 1901 till, tell me.
1999.
1999. Okay, so any other thought? 1901 until, try.
2000, ma'am.
2000, oke. Ada yang chat nih. Siapa? Ferdi. 1900. Oh, it start from 1900 until. Any other thought? No more? Oh, ada yang chat nih. Ferdi. Early 900 until 1940. Okay, any other thought? One more. One more. Effie, until 1944. Starting from when, Effie? Okay, so yeah, when we talk about the time of era. Halo, Rizka Sari. 1900, ma'am. Siapa sih yang ngomongin ini? Saya nggak lihat.
Rianita, ma'am.
So, can you mute yourself? Thank you. Nah, so when we talk about the timeline of the, I mean not the timeline, the exact time of a certain period, you might find it will be different from one sources to another sources, right? So we have learned this since the very early what you call it, middle age, since middle age, and then Renaissance, and then what else, restoration, and so on and so forth. We found that some sources mention different year for different like different sources. What does it mean? So it depends on what milestone someone think it was the time. So let me say like this. We will find in modern English literature the theory about relativity. If you have already familiar with Einstein theory of relativity, so it does not only work for science only, however, in almost all aspects of life. And this relativity is this relativity has something to do about the fact, and we will learn in this meeting. Jadi tadi kan tahun itu kok beda-beda gitu. Jadi sebenarnya mana yang benar, mana yang salah. Again, we are talking about relativity, so there is no absolute what? There is no absolute truths. Nggak ada kebenaran yang absolut. Inilah salah satu alasan. Jadi every angle has their own truth based on the reason or based on how someone or something was looked. Jadi tadi seperti contohnya dalam pertanyaan tahun berapa sampai tahun berapa sih modern English itu terjadi, ada yang jawab dari tahun 1900, ada yang jawab 1901, terus itu sampai ada yang jawab tahun 1940, ada yang jawab sampai tahun 2000, tahun 99, kayak gitu kan ya. Terus mana yang benar? Mana yang benar? Berdasarkan Einstein theory tadi itu dan Nietzsche, is it Nietzsche? Seorang filosofi yang juga hidup di era modern age, mereka mengatakan kalau tidak ada absolute truth, gitu ya. Jadi yang terpenting adalah when you say something, you have to know the reason why you say it, ya kan? Seperti contohnya saya sering kasih contoh itu cerita Siti Nurbaya. Ditanya kalau dalam roman Sengsara Membawa Nikmat, Siti Nurbaya, siapa sih antagonisnya? Siapa sih protagonisnya? Kayak gitu kan. So, pasti ada yang bilang antagonisnya itu Datuk Maringgi, protagonisnya itu Samsul Bahri. Kenapa Datuk Maringgi itu jadi antagonis? Ya, karena dia memaksa Siti Nurbaya untuk kawin sama dia, padahal dia udah kakek-kakek. Mentang-mentang dia kaya. Kayak gitu. Benar nggak? Jadi kalau kayak gitu, benar. Berarti apa? Mengatakan Datuk Maringgi itu adalah antagonis dengan alasan seperti yang barusan disebutkan, itu menjadikan pernyataan kalau Datuk Maringgi itu antagonis adalah benar. Tapi apakah itu absolute truth? Apakah itu kebenaran yang mutlak? Tergantung dari sudut pandang lain. Karena ada yang memandang, no. Datuk Maringgi itu protagonisnya. Kenapa protagonisnya? Karena Datuk Maringgi itu nggak pernah mau mendengarkan kata Belanda. Padahal kalau dalam kisah penjajahan, orang yang menantang Belanda adalah anak mudanya, ya kan, protagonisnya. Nah, dalam point of view itu, maka benar juga kalau Datuk Maringgi itu adalah protagonis. Bagaimana dengan Gusti Randa? Ya, dengan Gusti Randa pula usia. Apa namanya tuh? Samsul Bahri. Bagaimana dengan Samsul Bahri? Dalam point of view postkolonialisme, Samsul Bahri itu antagonisnya. Kenapa? Karena dia budaknya Belanda. Disuruh apa-apa sama Belanda mau. Kayak gitu. Nah, dari contoh roman Sengsara Membawa Nikmat, kita juga bisa mempelajari kalau tidak ada absolute truth. Apa yang mau kita tanam pada diri kita? So, terutama lagi, like the life right now, it's beyond modernism. Udah di apa sih beyond tuh? Di atasnya gitu ya. Beyond modernism, the information is so fast, so the absolute truth was fade away, like totally gone. Not gone, but fade away. It's you who decide the truth, right? Oke, balik lagi. Tadi itu untuk penjelasan tahunnya. Nah, so go back to the beginning of the to the 20th century of literature. Previously, Retno Susilawati mentioned that the beginning of 30th century of modern English literature was 1901 until 2000. Ya nggak, Retno? Yeah. So now, tell me or convince us, why do you think so? Kenapa?
Based on source that I find in Google, and I have read that in that research and in that search mentioned the year of the era start in 19 berapa tadi?
01.
1901 until 2000.
Okay, so you know when the source says something, they must give the reason, as I said before, right? So let me try to clarify. Yeah, it's true. Some sources will say it was until 2000. Some sources say it was until 1950. It depends on how the sources view the modern English literature. For the sources that's saying modern English literature, the 20th century, starting from 1901 till 1950, they kind of frame the timeline based on post Victorian age, karena indikasi dari modernisme itu adalah berakhirnya era Victoria, ya kan? Yang kita sama-sama tahu era Victoria itu adalah era di mana Industrial Revolution reached their peak. Like there are so many factory, there are so many labor, there are so many goods, so many product were produced, right? Mulainya industri yang kalau sekarang kita bilangnya Industrial Revolution 4.0, maka pada zamannya Victoria itu adalah Industrial Revolution 1.0. Itu adalah Industrial Revolution yang pertama, 1.0. Jadi sekarang kalian jangan nanti apalagi mau skripsi, wah Industrial Revolution 4.0, Industrial Revolution 4.0, but you don't even know why it reached 4.0. When was it? When it was 1.0. Oke. Nah, jadi zamannya Victoria itu yang 1.0-nya. Nah, setelah Victoria mangkat, maka kepemimpinan di kerajaan Inggris diganti oleh anaknya, namanya King siapa? Aduh, siapa lagi nih jawab? 1603 ini. Natalia Marsadu. 1603 itu Renaissance. You are far away, left behind. Now, next question. who is the successor of Victoria? Siapa?
King Edward.
King Edward. Ya, King Edward berapa itu? Saya paling kesel kalau ini ya, kalau to remember the name of the king in England. It's like they don't have any other name. King Edward.
King Edward VII.
Is it King Edward VII? Iya ya, King Edward VII ya. Iya, paling kesel ya kalau misalnya nama-nama raja di Inggris sama juga di Perancis juga. Namanya nggak lain George, Edward, siapa lagi? Siapa namanya tuh? Pokoknya nggak jauh-jauh dari George, nggak jauh-jauh dari Edward gitu sampai dikasih namanya. Bapaknya Elizabeth dulu siapa namanya? King
Henry VIII, ma'am.
Ya, Henry. Bahkan Henry aja udah nomor 8 waktu itu ya. Pada sebelum Elizabeth. So we need to recall by reading the sources to remember, because I myself didn't remember like every single things, I need to go back to the sources to make sure everything is correct if you want to find the fact. But when you learn before you know the little tiny fact about things, which is very good if you need to know the concept. Jadi konsepnya dulu dipahami, nanti baru yang perlu memori yang detail-detail itu kan bisa cek di sources ya. Yang penting konsepnya dulu tahu. Oke, nah jadi setelah after the death of Queen Victoria, the successor, her son succeeded the throne. So the son's name is Edward VII. Dan setelah Edward VII itu terjadi suksesi lagi ke zamannya George keberapa itu? Nggak ingat juga saya. Bapaknya si Elizabeth yang sekarang ini kan? George V. Iya, itu bapaknya Elizabeth yang sekarang kan? Kalau kalian nonton serial Netflix itu Crown, itu menceritakan, ya walaupun Netflix sendiri sebenarnya mengklaim kalau cerita itu adalah fiksi, but it's like maybe it's foxy, right? The fact that was warped in the fiction, something like that. Ya mereka nggak mau bertanggung jawab aja kalau itu adalah historical documentary movie, karena takut the royal family nanti get mad gitu kan. Kalau misalnya tidak sesuai dengan detail sesungguhnya, makanya diklaim sebagai fiksi. Oke, ya. Nah, let's move to the historical background within 20th century English literature. Oke, jadi kan seperti yang saya sampaikan sebelum-sebelumnya, when we want to know the literature during a certain era, we need to understand what's going on historically, culturally, socially, politically, right? Selalu itu kan? Iya, karena tulisan-tulisan yang diciptakan juga nanti ada hubungannya dengan itu. Makanya kemarin ada apa sih namanya, creative writing competition. Kalian ada pada ikut kan? So apa itu? So the theme we chose at that time was mother and COVID-19. Kenapa COVID-19? Karena COVID-19 is happening now, just like what we have learned, right? Di dalam sejarah sejarah kesastraan Inggris, dan nggak hanya sastra Inggris saja, all literature in the world, the tendency to make the literary works is according to what's going on at that time, right? Makanya kemarin tuh dibuatkan kompetisi menulis puisi tentang COVID-19 and mother. And why mother? Because we are celebrating Mother's Day, ya kan, Hari Perempuan sih sebenarnya, bukan Hari Ibu ya, tanggal 22 Desember itu. Kemudian, okay, so let's go back talking about the historical background in 20th century English literature. Can you tell me what are the historical background? Some facts. What happened during modern English literature? I mean, like during modern age, 20th century era. What happened in the world so that it influenced the literature? What happened? Apakah yang terjadi di dunia? The historical background, tell me. Are you there? Ini yang saya kadang kesal saya nih kalau misalnya kamera nggak dihidupkan. Tak kemana-mana ya kalian, walaupun sebenarnya I don't really care your face because the matter is I'm not sure where are you. Okay. Tell me the historical fact of 20th centuries. What's happened? What's going on? Ayo, ayo, ayo. Udah persiapan belum nih? Ferdi. There are First World War. Yeah, First World War. First World War. And then ada First World War. Ada apa lagi?
Women's suffrage.
Women's suffrage. Good. Apa lagi? Jangan lupa count your itu ya. Tally ya. Nanti di report ke saya pakai Gform itu. Jadi saya bisa lihat participation kalian. First World War, women's suffrage, what else? What's going on at that time? Hah? Suliantari said World War II, very good. Apalagi?
Yang lain adalah masa dulu ada kok ini yang Mas Kabar sana.
Apalagi? First World War, women's suffrage. World War II. Ada lagi? Gak ada. Okay, well, so let's talk about these three things. So actually, you know, during 20th century, there's so many things happen which didn't happen previously. For example, for like historically, the World War happened during that time. You know, like World War, it's horrible, right? So let's talk first of all about World War I. Jadi World War I itu siapa aja yang terlibat? Dulu kita pas sekolah ada itu ya. Waktunya udah mau habis. Oke, so nanti di selanjutnya di Zoom yang selanjutnya kita akan membahas lebih detail tentang historical background of 20th century, First World War, Second World War, women's suffrage, why women's suffrage happened this time, apa aja sih women's suffrage itu gitu ya. Terus tuh juga tentang media and you know communication media, karena sebelumnya nggak ada radio, sekarang nanti setelah modern age udah ada radio, ada TV kayak gitu kan. Terus tuh politically pada zaman modern inilah perempuan baru boleh pemilu kayak gitu. Jadi you know what I want to say is well, I didn't join pemilu last time tanggal 9 Desember karena saya di sini. But normally if I have the opportunity to join the you know like the election, I will do. For example kayak waktu saya di Taiwan pemilu presiden kan kita bisa ikut. Saya milih. You know why? Because especially for women, you know, because the previous women need to fight a lot, need to have a war against the man to say that we have the voice, we have the same valuable voice as a man. Nah, jadi kalau sekarang ada kesempatan-kesempatan yang kayaknya sepele, but you need to look back, you know, how those things are fight for, you know, are fought for. Kayak misalnya sekolah, kayak gitu ya. So ini untuk ngisi waktu dulu sebelum kita berakhir sedikit lagi, 7 menit lagi. Nanti baru kita ngomongkan World War I sama itu, sama selanjutnya. Kayak sekolah. Dulu kan perempuan nggak boleh sekolah gitu ya. Nggak boleh. Perempuan itu cuma hidup berkembang biak, kayak beranak-beranak gitu aja. So for you women, now you have the opportunity to go to school. Go to school, you know. You have the opportunity, the same opportunity to access education. So go for it, you know. And if nanti pulang ke kampung, orang-orang di kampung masih punya perspektif, alah anak wedok, kenapa diajak sekolah? Tuh apa gak pun nanti beranak. If you have kids, make sure you are a smart mother, you know. Make sure that you know, like when your kids ask the question, something like, "Mom, Pythagoras itu apa sih?" You as a mother, you will answer, it's like this, right? Jangan sampai tanya, "Oh, Mak, rumus bagaimana sih nyari volume tabung ini gimana caranya?" Nggak tahu Mama cara nyarinya gimana. You know, show to your future life that you deserve, even though orang bilang hanya menjadi ibu rumah tangga. So make sure you are the best one, you know. Yeah, that's how. Nah, maksud saya bilang ini adalah you know, like women long time ago fight for these things we enjoy right now with blood and sweat, you know. That's what I'm going to say to you. Oke, setelah ini nanti kita akan membahas tentang World War I, World War II, women's suffrage, and telecommunication during modern era, dan juga tentang postmodernism sedikit. Saya nggak, we can see later if we can combine or we have one more meeting, because according to the syllabus hari ini harusnya selesai ya, kan sampai 20th century and postmodern gitu ya. Tapi we see later if we, harapan saya sih kita bisa combine aja. Jadi kita punya 3 Zoom meeting hari ini, 3 seri, maksudnya 3x40. Dan setelah itu kalian tinggal fokus sama final project kalian, dan saya akan menjelaskan tentang final project yang lebih doable gitu, karena kemarin kan kita bilang mau bikin like the timeline, like the time traveling, kayak yang senior kalian kerjakan dulu. Tapi senior kalian dulu kan tidak pakai video ya, mereka live bikin exhibition. So I will negotiate what we can do later, so that you will not feel too much burden of working, you know, in a very big group. Karena juga ini kan, ini kalian masih pada di kampung apa sudah ke Pontianak nih?
Masih di kampung, Mem.
Kampung, Mem.
Iyalah ya, kan mau tahun baru
Kampung.
ngapain ke Pontianak ya? Bang Api juga nggak ada. Okay, so let's off and come back again, okay? Daripada kita nunggu lama. Off and come back again. We will talk about our class after this. So see you soon.